On this episode, the boys catch up to discuss the legendary Murray and Djokovic partnership, Iga's doping situation, and how Evan used law of attraction to win back-to-back professional titles in Guatemala. Enjoy. First thing first, I was actually in Spain for some visa reasons. We get to that later. But the guy who I was with was a part of an unfortunate natural disaster, so to speak. He was walking onto the court for a doubles quarterfinal, and the umpire chair fell on him. So the umpire left the umbrella open on a windy day, and a gust of wind took the umpire chair, hit him in the face, I think on his nose and in his chest, and he had to go to the hospital.
He had to go to the hospital?
Straight. So,
no way.
So he got defaulted, right?
Because the
defaulted, and in the ATP, if you don't play the match,
you're fine.
No, surely not. He got no points and no money for that round, right?
What?
You following me? So not his fault.
Hold on. He was in the quarters of doubles, so second round of doubles.
Yeah.
And that thing hit him.
Yeah.
And he didn't get his points from the first round and the money from the first round.
He didn't play the match. So he had to go to the hospital, no points, no money for that round. And yeah, basically he got screwed, right? And then the day passes, he gets a call, guess from who? The ATP vice president calls him directly.
Okay.
He's like, hey, Eric, heard what happened. Can we do anything for you? Like, did you have to pay anything at the hospital? If you did, we have insurance for those kind of things. We can take care of that for you. Basically, like afraid he's gonna sue them. That's what it sounds like to me. He calls out of the blue, like a day later, and he's like super concerned and like whatever, and like trying to make sure that the money's okay and all these things. So it's like prevent defense kind of like.
But what should they do?
No, he should. But it's like the vice president of ATP calls him. It's pretty high up.
So you think that like the system should just already be prepared for like a what if something like this happens?
Yeah, because I don't know. It's like I don't know that it's odd, but the vice president of ATP calls you. Like you can deal with at the tournament.
Yeah.
Like why can't a tournament just handle it? Like why is the ATP vice president calling you? Why is it that important? So I think they're afraid of him like pursuing some sort of conversation. And I'm trying to ask y'all, what would y'all do if you go in onto a court and no fault of your own, the umpire chair lick you in your face, and you have to go to the hospital and pay whatever bills, whatever? Are you gonna try to sue the ATP, pursue some compensation, or is it just whatever?
I mean, it sounds like he's getting it taken care of.
Not really, not yet. Like he hasn't gone through anything yet.
I don't know.
I feel like you gotta do something, especially if you lost your points and your prize money from the. That's crazy. That's
first of all, like,
whammy.
How bad is that rule? Do you think it's a good rule in general?
I feel like there should be an exception if you get blocked.
Isn't the rule for like to prevent people from just playing one match and pulling out? Yeah. I do think they have to do something about that for sure. They do, because like it happens a lot. Like there's a lot of holes in the draws and that sort of stuff. But I don't know. What would I do, boy? I don't think I'm suing Nate. Like, yeah, I don't think so.
But if you don't initiate it, they're not gonna just give you money.
Nice.
And they've basically stripped you of some money and prize money and points. So how do we rectify the situation here?
I wonder how, like, you know how at the beginning of the year, like your first tournament of the year, there's like paperwork and stuff that you have to sign?
In the US, they do that.
Yeah, or like on ITF.
The waivers. In the US, they wouldn't have to pay anything.
Have you read any waiver?
Never in my life.
Have you?
No.
Because like,
I feel like it's the same waiver, the little.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what if in that waiver it has something like if something happens, it's not our fault, or I don't know.
But that's a USTA waiver in the US.
No, but we also do this stuff on like iPin and like these little things. Like we do stuff.
Really?
When you're renewing your iPin and stuff.
I don't remember.
I'm almost.
I don't
this
think
is
so. I don't
how
think
bad
so.
are we? I'm almost
just
certain.
remember-
I've never seen a liability waiver.
I'm almost
from the
certain.
ITF.
I'm almost certain that we do something, bro. We
No.
must.
I mean, there must be some liability thing that we're signing up for once we. Because then, like, if you got like hurt on the court, if you like rolled your ankle on the court, you could just say,
It's the court's fault.
yeah, they didn't
There's a
maintain
pothole.
the courts well enough, and that's why I got hurt, and it's the tournament's fault. I'm going to sue them.
I mean, in some cases, I think that might be fair.
But
Like, there was a tournament
In what world?
this year in South America somewhere where the bounces were crazy. There was a
Oh,
ball
yeah, I think
I
I
saw
remember.
coming 80 miles an hour this way, stopped and went straight up this way. Like, if you twist your ankle there, I feel like that's the fault of the tournament.
Yeah.
Like, that's a bad tennis court.
And then you get in trouble if you say, I don't feel safe on this court. I'm not going to
Yeah.
play. That's your money and points gone.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be a Karen or whatever they say these days, but it's rough, man. Like, I think he deserves something.
Yeah.
He deserves. I don't know how much. I don't know what that line
But what do you
is
mean
drawn.
deserves something? Like he deserves to not have his face hit by an umpire chair. That's what he deserves.
to have his points and his
Yeah.
money
At the very
least,
least,
at the
yeah,
very
yeah,
least.
exactly.
At the very least, points, prize money, and then money for
Hospital
hospital
bills.
bills.
Yeah, exactly. I agree
At
with
the
that.
very least,
I agree with that.
which hasn't necessarily.
Like what if
been
what
taken
if
care
that
of
gave
yet.
him like a concussion or like gave him like some type of
I think he kind of did. He
crazy
trained the next
damage.
day and he told me he had a crazy headache and he was like a little dizzy. So like if the right person or the wrong person could make that a very big deal,
Yeah, for sure.
and they would have a lot of grounds to do it. Especially if it happened in the US, I think.
Bro, what a crazy situation. By the way, this was happening in Jamaica too. Like in Jamaica, they have like a wooden, like the thing you sit on, like the bench, but the bench was attached to like the top, which was cloth. And
Okay.
Jamaica's windy.
Uh-huh.
And whenever someone's not sitting on it, a big gust of wind blows, you see a bang and it just slams on the floor,
Uh-huh.
like fall over. And they just put a big piece of block on it, like just to stop it from doing it. But for sure, it could have fell on someone.
It's crazy, bro. All right, let's get into some over-unders.
Let's do it.
Over or underrated banned substances? What do we think?
What's the wait? What does overrated mean? Like what's
In terms of performance, like
Have you ever seen these? This remind me for some reason of like before the U.S. election, they had this. Like they would put one person in the middle of the room and everyone was around in a circle.
like 20v1 on a
Like
debate.
Jubilee, something, yeah. And
Oh,
for some
yeah,
reason,
yeah.
this reminded me of that. Like when you said that question, then we had to be like,
In
okay,
in a circle.
no. What I was thinking was, like, can we define our terms?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, the news came this past week that Swiatek had been suspended for 3 weeks at some point this year for some contaminated medication. And then
melatonin?
she got another week after the season ended. And I think her suspension ends December 4th, something like that. But she still played WTA finals in all those events, which is interesting. I don't have all the facts of the case in front of me,
Great job
But,
saying that. Great job saying that. Because, sorry, go on.
but I do have an opinion. Nonetheless, I still have an opinion. Feelings, no facts. But what happened to, I think, Simona Halep, I don't know how similar the cases are, but I know that she got
You're
some...
going to get in trouble, bro.
I
You're
know
going
she-
to get in trouble, bro.
That's fine. I know that she had some tainted medication or supplement as well. So it feels rough that it's not always seemingly from the outside very consistent how it's dealt with. But anyway, quick address on Swiatek. And then
Can I
back to the-
before we go? This is
Yeah.
why I'm so scared to talk about this stuff because
Yeah.
like until I read like the actual case and all the other cases, it's so hard to talk about it because, for example, the counter argument to what you just said about like consistency and how they handle the cases, like apparently like Swiatek, similar to the Sinner thing, is like they prove like she can prove right away this is where it's from
Mhm.
versus like other cases they don't prove.
Takes long to find
out where the
root cause
contamination
of the
came from. Yeah,
contamination.
so there's so much like there's
fair.
that, and then there's also like I saw Kyrgios tweeting, and look, I'm not like he's pretty intense with like Sinner.
Be careful
you know
now.
what I mean?
No.
Yeah. But he was saying, and I kind of it's interesting what he said because he like Swiatek and Sinner both they were like I guess they didn't know, you know. And he can say, what if everyone can just say they don't know?
Yeah.
You know? Like they still like do you think there still must be a punishment? Like let's say like those two cases aside, like let's say me, for example, I get drug tested. I got drug tested a couple weeks ago in Drummondville. I test positive, and I don't know where it came from. Do you think I can just say I don't know and they just let me go by, or do you think
chance.
like I just don't know, like what the rule should be,
Yeah.
Because some people actually don't know, and like for example, if that happened to me, you know what I mean? Because I'm a fair guy. I wouldn't know. But like, what if there are people who are actually cheating that say they don't know?
Yeah. Well, we don't obviously have any facts, as you can tell.
At all.
So we're gonna talk about things that we know about
Before we get hated on.
So the serious question here would be,
unless you had something to add.
No, I don't got anything.
if certain substances like supplements, I should say, are over underrated. Stuff like people who take creatine pre-workout before matches. You feel like those things have a big effect?
I don't take any of that stuff, so I wouldn't know.
Do you take vitamins even?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Just a chill guy.
Yeah, it's just a chill guy trying to play some tennis. You know?
So I take a multivitamin and I take creatine and I take some collagen as well for the protein and some regular whey protein. And I take the creatine purely based off of what I've seen, like people say, like scientifically that is good for you. I don't know if I feel any difference, to be honest.
I don't feel any difference with
collagen?
any of my vitamins.
Supplements and stuff.
Any of my 25 different vitamins. No, it's good.
So you feel like pretty much a lot of that stuff is overrated?
I heard when I did go to college,
While I was there.
that like, I don't know about what vitamins, but they're saying like the vitamins only make a big difference if you're like really deficient in them. If you have enough and you eat more, it doesn't really like do anything.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know.
What class was that?
Again, we don't have any facts.
That was Epsilon 15, maybe. Shout out at UCLA. I forgot the professor's name. I think it was Epsilon 15. No, it was not Epsilon. I can't remember the class. But yeah.
But there are also these things people talk about a lot, like nicotine patches and stuff. Have you ever done that?
I've never done that, but I will
tried
say
it once.
when I drink coffee, according to shout out Whoop, that we're not sponsored by, feel free to hit us up.
Crazy.
According to that, coffee makes a difference. Like it improves my recovery. So I believe
Your recovery.
Yeah.
Not your
What
performance.
about your performance when you compete?
I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't have that. It doesn't have how big I'm serving on a day. You know what I mean?
And you, the nicotine?
I only tried it once during practice. I don't know. I was already tired, but I just felt tired.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I should have tried it more, but.
And then there are also these things. What do you call it? The TUE, like things you can get exemptions for, like Adderall,
specifically
which,
Adderall,
which seems to be.
I think that one, I feel like will make a difference.
Like there are like a handful of players that I've heard started taking it relatively recently, whose spiking results.
You want to talk about them?
I'm not gonna call any names, but whose results and the I guess initial date of consumption of Adderall
directly
coincide. Yeah. I'm not saying causation. What is it? Correlation and causation or whatever the hell the thing is, but it seems to have a pretty direct effect. So I would say underrated in that sense.
Yeah,
I think that one. Yeah, that one for sure.
But
because if you think about like performance enhancing drugs, like I actually don't even know how much it would help, like the week of the tournament. Maybe it does a little bit with recovery the week of the tournament, but the way I see it is like if you take that shit in preseason and it allows you to just spend more time on the court, that's just more time that you have to spend working on the shit that you need to improve. Yeah, at a high intensity on the shit you need to improve at. So maybe you improve at a faster rate because you're able to just spend more time on the court. And maybe if you're taking some Adderall with it, you're focusing the whole time. All of a sudden you're fucking Thanos or something.
I've seen some results, brother. The Adderall is working, and that's
but again, we don't have any facts.
No facts.
Zero facts.
All feelings.
This is the No Facts podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry for interrupting the episode. It would mean a lot to us if you could subscribe to the channel. That's the best way to support us and help us to continue to make fun episodes with cool guests. Thanks so much and enjoy the rest of the episode.
The next over for you is mixing the return position in a match over or underrated?
Underrated.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I think especially like in certain like moments, like you can make a subtle change that makes the guy think a little bit.
Yeah.
And that can be the difference between, let's say, another good second serve or a double fault or him just second guessing himself and giving you something cheap. So I think good players change things subtly at the right times to kind of put more pressure on the other side.
I agree.
Facts.
Not much.
Let us know in the comments if
What
you
you think
agree,
about-
but I agree with that. Because like the view is different of the server.
100%.
Like the view is different if someone has been standing 2 steps behind the baseline all match, and then all of a sudden they're standing 4 steps behind, or they're standing up on one, or they're standing second serve. You're thinking maybe their backhand's worse. You want to kick T, and then all of a sudden they take half a step to the left, like on the do side, and now the area that you have to hit to get it to their backhand is so small. So now, do you take that risk, or do you go to a spot that you didn't want to in the first place? Psychologically,
think about it
there's
too.
a lot.
Like, think about yourself being a server, and you, let's say you guys are both holding serve relatively easily, and he's been returning close to base on the whole set, and then it's 4-all or 5-all, and all of a sudden the guy stands at the fence. It's whether you want to admit it or not, you're gonna look up and say, "Whoa!" Now it's like a whole new match. You feel like in your head. So I think for you at home, if you play matches and you have not getting into someone's return games in a big game like a 4-all, 5-all, 3-4, 5-4 in a set, try it. Like go first 2 points in the game, just step way back or step way in and see how your opponent reacts. I'm sure you might get, if not double faults, maybe if they were making a lot of first serves, maybe their percentage drops. You get a few more second serve looks, but I think definitely underrated play for tennis players.
I just think like it's crazy. Like just in general, how like I guess Andre and I last week kind of made that mistake. Like returning is such like every single day is going to be a little bit different because like we played. This is what I've been dealing with. Is do you think the second serve slice serve is underrated in doubles?
Probably, yeah. So rough.
Extremely underrated in my opinion. Like I wasn't thinking about that much recently, but then last week we played, like it came up in conversation a couple weeks ago at one of the challenges. I talked to Chris about it and stuff, and you know, we maybe decided maybe value mixing serves. So maybe not just going kick out wide every time. You go kick body, kick wide, you can put in a slice, different serves. But then Noah Shakhtar slices a lot of second serves. Sorry if I'm gonna put your shit on blast, but like sliced a lot of second serves, and we just didn't adjust that well. You know, we're thinking, oh, it's a second serve. Let me be imposing. You're trying to take a little bit of the court. You know, you're thinking maybe he's gonna kick. You get up. He sliced almost all of them. It's like, okay, now you're just taking time away from yourself because the righty is slicing into your body.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just think it makes a big difference because suddenly if a guy has a slicey second serve, you can stand 2-3 steps back, maybe 1 or 2 steps to the right because they're not going to be able to find your backhand that easily. More than likely, it's going to come body or to the right side of you. And then if someone's kicking, you can take a few steps up. Like you just have to be so aware, like of that stuff, in my opinion.
And equally, as a player, as a server or returner, if something is working and the opponent is not finding the right solutions, don't change it. Just beat the dead horse until you shake hands.
Until he can fix it.
But I kind of feel like you change it on like a 40 love.
You like now and then you can show a mix up.
Yeah, you change it on like you're rolling in the game and you're just gonna put one in their mind like, oh, I still have this one. Don't you think I only have that one? I have this one too. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I got one more for you. The UTR rating. Is it over or underrated? Especially for juniors. Because we had an IG question earlier and they were talking about how junior players are defaulting a lot of matches because they don't want the UTR to dip. So would you say that the UTR rating, especially for juniors, is over or underrated?
They should take their points and prize money away.
I think
overrated.
For me, I think it's. I understand why it's important because college coaches are gonna look at that as the first thing, and then also your chance to get into, let's say, these UTR 25Ks and play is predicated on having a certain level of UTR. But I think you kind of shoot yourself in the foot by not finishing these matches because you're not giving yourself enough reps to actually improve. Because when you become a pro tennis player, if that's your goal at the end of the day, you have to win the matches, and your ranking matters way more than the UTR. So I think the development of the player is way more important than the number next to their name.
Do you think you learn more from a loss or a win?
I think that
is a great question.
Is a good question. I honestly think that you learn different things from both. Because you have to learn how to win as well. Because with winning comes new problems. So when you go deep into tournaments, you learn how to manage your body better, manage your mind, like not getting ahead of yourself and thinking about, let's say, the points, the whatever. You handle new pressures as a winner. But when you're losing, you obviously get to address the weaknesses in your game. You have it's way easier to see what's going wrong when you're losing. But when you're winning a lot, I think the best players, they're able to still win matches and then do it without their best stuff and then address those things anyway.
Exactly. I think that a lot of people, they win a match and they like maybe brush it aside. Like, oh, they just won the match. And it's like, okay, you won the match, but like fucking pay some attention to some of the things that you did to win today, because on the days that you lose, you're going to need some of that stuff. You know?
So I think you can get really good at losing. You know what I mean?
I've been getting really good at losing.
Like you can get good at it. Like you can get really good in the habit of just shaking hands with an L, you know? And I think it's great to have the positive mindset and we're going to learn from this and all of that. But I think that you can get really good at winning as well. Like there's also habits that come with that. So I don't think winning or losing is the issue. I think it's your mindset.
Is that a title?
How you approach.
Is that a title for this episode?
I think that gets clicks.
How to get really good at winning.
I think it gets negative clicks.
How to win.
How to get really good at winning.
Yeah, but I think you can definitely learn way more from winning if you have the right mindset. And obviously you have to learn from the losses as well. But I don't think that this thing about you gotta lose so much to win, I don't know if that's like a real thing. I think that's something that people made up.
Like for example, like think of guys who've been winning so much recently, like Fernley we had on recently, or Nishesh. How much are they learning? Like these guys, I feel like these are guys who. This is why I personally really liked the Nishesh episode, like because I feel like it was. I guess my personality is like you do this because this is the result you want, and you either get that result or you don't. So you adjust and you try and like it's very logical, and I feel like he's been very successful in the summer. But from the conversation that we've been having, it sounds like he's been learning. Like even when he talks about like Spizzirri, for example, like when he had he played Spizzirri twice. After the first or second time, now Spizzirri feels like he has to overplay. So maybe like he's aware, like he's thinking and he knows what's happening, and I appreciate that.
Because you get comfortable with certain scenarios. So like if you lose a lot, you kind of get used to being down or used to not feeling like you are like really heavy teeth in a match. So maybe you get really resilient in the sense that, okay, I'm improving my ability to take bad scenarios and I can fight through these hard moments or whatever. But it's also hard to be up a lot and like be close to achieving things. Like that pressure is a different beast that you have to get good at dealing with. So I don't really think, winning and losing isn't really the thing. It's handling each scenario as best you can. I think is where you just grow as a person and as a tennis player.
I have a strange question for you, Evan, because I kind of felt this way.
Yeah.
When I was in Mexico at 15 that I won in dubs. Then the next week, Jamaica 15 I won. I was going in first round the third week, and we lost in 3 sets. And I was like finally, that's gone. And now I can just go again, you know? So after Guatemala back-to-back weeks, congrats, by the way. W. If you get to this part, just put a W.
El Presidente.
Below. W in the chat, please. Just put a W down below for Evan.
Guatemalteco.
Winning back-to-back 15s, by the way.
10 matches in a row?
10 matches in a row. So my question to you was, because also you...
After a rough year of a lot of losses, so you can talk about both sides.
Yeah.
Right?
But what I'm going with is like, so after that, you went 10 in a row, and then you qualied in Manzanillo Challenger.
And lost.
So 12 in a row. So you lost. Yeah, I watched the match, but we don't have to talk about that match. But like, did you feel any difference like when it was done? Like, do you feel like, gone, like I can go again? Or it was like, damn, it would have been nice to have 13.
It would have been nice to win more matches. Just from like a...
You didn't feel like a pressure building up, like more match you win? That didn't cross your mind?
Not really. Maybe if like you kept playing 15s, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because you played
maybe if I had like a third Guatemala 15.
Yeah, because I had two more Jamaica 15s coming. So I lost first round and I won the next one. But like the third one that I won didn't feel like, like early. I was like, and the team that we lost to won the tournament, so it's not like I had a bad loss. Like it could very easily have been a final, but
yeah. No, I don't. Oh no, I want to keep winning.
Like imagine how these guys must feel like Sinner, for example, that wins every single tournament. Like imagine going in every single tournament as the favorite.
That's what I'm saying. I think the way you or I perceive it, we're different than him now. I think he's built up so much, like, let's say, the routines and the habits of winning.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's no doubt and that there's no like stress or whatever, but I think that his life and his mind is conditioned that he's going to achieve certain things.
Yeah.
So I don't think that. So you're thinking about it from, if it was me in this scenario, I would feel whatever. But I don't think he feels what you feel.
Yeah. Because he's already gone through so many
times.
Yeah.
And he's been close and lost, and he's won a bunch in a row. I think he has like, I don't know.
But I will say,
okay,
maybe Sin is a bad example. This guy is fucking unbelievable. But like, it's crazy how quickly confidence can just turn something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I started this year with 10-point tie breaks. I lost a few.
Yeah.
I lost like maybe 4 or 5 in a row or something. 10-point tie breaks, and I felt like, wow, I'm not clutch. And then all of a sudden, like we played 2 in Mexico. You and I, we won. And then the next week, I won every. And it was this same stretch of tournaments that I just talked about. But all of a sudden, we were winning like, I think I won maybe 4, 5, 6 back to back. So it was like, not like I win one, lose one, win one. It was like I lost a bunch, then I won a bunch. And then now it's been maybe I lost a bunch again. Like confidence is crazy, like especially in those moments.
Is accountability overrated? Like you lost in doubles, 2-man sport, like you and a partner, you lost some 10 tie breaks and you said, wow, I'm not clutch. When you and another guy lost.
Yeah.
What if you were the kind of person to be like, everything I do is great and my partner messed up? Would that be better for your confidence?
That's what I've been battling with now, because
I went through is great.
No, because I went like, and I talked, I don't know if you overheard me today talking to Chris, but like I went 5 challenges and I lost first round in all of them. And I had like tough draws and tough situations, maybe like being up a set in a break. We had set points in some, we were up a break in some, like just, I think up a set in 1 of the 5 and then up a break in 2 more of the 5.
Yeah.
And then maybe 3, and then only 1 I got killed. So like, it was on one hand, do I say, okay, we had tough draws, and in some of these tough moments, we had a deuce point that I didn't take, or a set point that I didn't touch the ball, like several set points I didn't touch the ball, or like we played, like I played doubles with Gertz one week where he played against Draxler 7-6 in the third, ended after midnight, and then we played first on the next day at 1. Like he was not that fresh. Like just, so do I say, okay, all of this sucked and it went against me, or do I say, okay, I need to take responsibility and carry my weight in the stuff? So I don't know. Like that's kind of what I've been battling with. Is like 0-5, it's a tough stretch of matches, but is it actually not that bad because I put in decent performances in some of the matches? So I don't know, bro.
I think it's interesting. I feel like if you can be crazy enough that when things go bad, it's not your fault, given that you gave your best effort, like it's not your fault. And then when things go right, it's all my fault. Like I earned it. I feel like it's good for your confidence. Maybe a little delusional.
Delusion is good for sure.
But I feel like those kind of guys are Fognini. Fognini's playing in the Challenger Montemar in Spain, the same one where Eric almost died, right? And he's playing first round, and I'm told that he was on the court playing against Daniel Rincon, and he's like talking shit, like. But he's talking to his coach, who's Filippo Baldi, born in my year, and I think he's like hitting partner for Bonini. He's like, man, this guy's so bad. Like, he plays so slow. Like, I'm falling asleep out here. Like, you have a chance to beat this guy, Filippo. Like, you could beat him. The week or 2 weeks before, he lost to the same guy that he's playing. And he beats this guy and wins the tournament.
Yeah.
But he's like, if he loses, it's never, I'm not saying never, but probably when he plays against a certain level of player, if he lost, it's because the ref was shit or the fans were whatever or the whatever.
Yeah.
And it probably keeps him up to a certain extent. And then when he wins, I'm Fabio.
Yeah, I think it's such like a momentum and like confidence sport. Like
if it's real. Like if you can really feel that way,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's,
because like the year is so long that if you can just like my advice to Evan after he played in Manzanillo, I was like, dog, forget it. Like just forget the match.
Mhm.
Like maybe you had a bad matchup in these conditions against this player, but you're doing too well. Just forget about it, chalk it off to a shit day, and just move on.
Yeah.
Like if you can do that as much as possible, granted that you're not losing for a specific reason. If you're losing a lot of matches for the same reason, then you have to address it. You know,
you can't ignore what's wrong
yeah,
necessarily.
but like the year is so long that if you can just keep that delusion alive, like just keep like it's gonna come next week is my week. Like I just keep going, and then like I guess that's the advice at least that I was given to undertake. You know, so. And I did it a lot this year. I had a lot of matches where I was like, God, my God, that was a terrible match. But then a week later, like for example, Dallas did horrible in Dallas. Felt like it was a really bad match. We won. Josh and I won Michigan State the next week, beating some good teams. So like,
and to be fair, that's what Zeke told me. He told me that he was talking to Vukic, who's top 100, used to play at Illinois, and he said that when he loses matches, he's pretty much ice cold. Like he takes it like it's whatever, you know, like a loss is a loss. You move on to the next thing. Like
that's what Holt does too.
Like there's no emotion involved in a loss.
Like that, yeah.
Holt said the same thing.
Yeah. And you tell me, so you didn't have a great start to the year, like when, like you took a long trip to Asia, and it wasn't the prettiest on the court. I don't know how off the court was for you, but I know that the food is good and other things as well. But you were able to turn it around in Guatemala, and kind of, I don't want to say out of nowhere, because I think you took a break and you worked hard for like a good block. But
yeah.
what went into changing the year for you?
I guess even like the two futures I played before Guatemala, they're in the States. I qualified and then lost first round, and then lost first round in the next one. I still feel like you're trying to like build momentum into the next couple of weeks or whatever, and try to learn from them. Whereas like before, it was just like, oh, lost. It didn't feel like I was like getting anywhere.
In terms of like the way you were playing, you didn't have like a clear path how you wanted to play, or just the fact that you were losing.
I just thought like I just wasn't sure what I should do to win. Like sometimes I thought I wasn't being aggressive enough, and sometimes I thought I was being like way too aggressive, like just missing way too much. But I guess a little more direction, and then even in the beginning of Guatemala, the first week, I still was playing like pretty buns. But like I kind of just fought through it, and as the matches got on, I started playing a little better and better, and then like by the end of the first week and like throughout most of the second week, I was playing much better than I was before. Like still like some tough moments and stuff, but like it was way better than what it was. Yeah.
And what was the mindset in those moments?
You know what's strange? It's like, you know, improvement is never like this. It's not like you're just gonna go like this. But like from the time where you were doing really bad to right before Louisville, and then you do those two futures like Louisville, you went, okay, you qualified and you kind of didn't really have your best day against Monday.
Yeah.
The next week you went 3 sets with Lilov, and then the next tournament you started to do well in Guatemala. So like in a way, in that small period, I feel like it was, like you said, building momentum. And that's what we kept talking about in Louisville. Like I shout out to Damon, by the way, the PTPA mental fitness coach, because that's who I was talking to at the time, and I was struggling with it, and that's all Evan and I kept saying in Louisville. Just keep building psychological momentum every day, you know, and it worked, bro. Like it's working, you know. So it's good. It's good to see.
Just like just getting some wins, even if you're like playing like crap. I think getting some wins can help build confidence more than like fighting hard, and like getting through those matches can build more confidence in like playing well in one match or something like that.
And what were you doing off court to kind of, let's say, cultivate a better mindset?
A little bit of reading.
This book. Is a podcast, brother. Let's talk about it.
I started reading. I mean, I've been trying to read, a bit inconsistent with it, but I like books on like law of attraction and like the way you think, the way you like think about yourself, the way you see like your perspective on events that you don't have control over around you. I just feel like when you're reading those type of books, it just gets you into a more locked in mindset. I don't know.
Frequency as
it gets a higher frequency. I just feel like it just makes. I feel like even if like, I feel like it's something you can work on yourself, and it feels like you're getting better as a person, not just like. So it's not just like you're playing your tennis. I played well today. I didn't play well today. I feel like when you're doing that stuff, trying to like work on yourself as a person, it helps build momentum. Not just like, oh, I have to play well. I didn't play well today, or I played well today. So yeah.
Do you feel like other things in your life can help you, like you said, build that momentum? Like I feel like little stupid shit, like making your bed and like for me it's been like for me it's been like my stuff. Bro, I didn't do it today. God damn. But
you got time?
It's too late. You have to do it in the morning and the night. So I missed the morning. But it's all good. I'll do the night. But I was saying just little things like cleaning my room and having things organized. Like right now it's kind of messy. But like the day that I have a match, it's gonna be like, I know
spick and span.
Not spick and span, but like I'm pretty organized. Like, do you feel that makes a difference too, or is that just superstition from me?
I feel like I'm not that organized. I do journal a little bit, like before the night before matches and stuff. I like have a little routine in the morning to like read what I wrote down.
Make fun of him now.
No, just funny because you bring it up a lot. You don't. I do it as well. I journal.
Asshole. You know what?
I journal every day. I do it too. But it's just that you bring it up a lot, so it's funny.
You know what you did? You know what you did when we went live in Puerto Vallarta? You told PK Jody's gonna bring up the 4-land thing. You know, and then someone else brought it up, and then I started talking about it, like answering a question, and then PK starts laughing. Like if I brought it up, someone else brought it up, and then I just started talking about it. Don't do that.
PK started it. I didn't start that with PK. PK messaged me and said, if I hear this 4-land thing one more time, and then I said, bring it up on the lab.
Okay.
So,
you know something else as well? I feel like I noticed when I do well at tournaments, my stretching routine after is pretty uniform. Like, and I don't know if that like. I feel like when I do well at tournaments, I'm always right after the match or whenever I can. I do the exact stretches I want to do. Like I put my legs up for 10 minutes. I bike right after. And then, which I don't stretch that much. I don't do a great job stretching. But I don't know if
Just a chill guy.
Yeah, I'm just a chill guy trying to play tennis. I don't know if it helps more. I mean, I'm sure it helps physically, but
bro,
I feel like
there's something to routine.
You're just checking off the things that you think you should do.
Yeah.
There's something to routine. Momentum thing is real. Like, for example, in the UTR, I was kind of eating the same time before the matches. And then I had like, you do the kind of the similar things every day and it kind of rolls. I don't know explain it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel disjointed. It feels like everything is kind of in step. So like we spoke to Ethan Quinn about winning the NCAAs. He was really just focused on, let's say, his mobility and playing the matches, and he had like his routine with the ice baths and whatever. And I just feel like you get into a mode, and I think it's good to have the routine.
Bro, I find it so hard, like at tennis. Like to me, it's way easier to do a routine in a training block. Like when you're at home and you know the times that you train, the times you do fitness. Like
I feel like it's easier at the tournament.
You think it's easier at the tournament?
Like you go match, you go. They have food at the courts. You go food at the courts, and then they have the gym right there. You just go gym right there, stretch.
Where's the gym?
And then go home. Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
See what I mean? Like I just think it's maybe it's just a me thing that and I envy you in a way because I feel like I've seen it a bunch of times where we're like we come home or something or we finish practice or whatever at a random place at the tournament and everyone's just kind of doing their thing, talking, whatever, and then you're doing something that you believe that you need to do, like you're stretching or something, or like we get him at the end of the day and we're all talking whatever, and then you disappear and you're in your room doing whatever, like mobility, whatever, you know, like I don't think I'm flexible enough that way. Like I'm just like, oh shit, we're here talking, this is a fun conversation, and then I'm here now.
That's what I'm saying. I think the magic is the best players kind of know what they need, and whether it has to be abbreviated or whatever due to circumstances,
or make it work.
They know how to get enough of what they need so that they feel comfortable where they are.
Bro, it's even things like okay, someone asked me this recently. They were like, because I sat and watched Gertz play when he played Draxel, and I sat and watched Ethan play when he played oh my God, I don't remember who he played in Charlottesville, but I watched the match and like they asked me as a doubles partner, how important do you think it is to be like just be there and support your teammates and stuff, especially when you don't know the person. And I was like, I think that's huge. Like, but then that just takes an hour and a half to 2.5, depends on how long the match is. Like Draxler and Gertz played like
6
fucking
hours.
3 hours, ended after midnight. So it's like I just find it so difficult for me, and maybe I just need to not be soft, just get it done anyway. But I just find it tough to keep the same routine. Bro, every time I check into a hotel, I unpack my bag, I put my book at the side of the bed. I haven't read in weeks. My book is gonna be at the side of the bed. You know what I mean? I need to get back.
That counts.
Anyone want? Yeah, I need to. Yeah.
In Guatemala, I was forcing myself to read, but like I was watching a show, but I would watch it out in the. We had an Airbnb. I watch it out in the living room. My phone got low battery. I have my charger in my room, so I have to put my phone in my room to charge, and then I take the book and read for a bit.
Yeah, I think it's actually easier when I don't have people that I know at the tournaments. Like when I have a room to myself where I know that I can just get away and it's quiet. I don't have distraction because I get lost in time, like doing things with people and like watching a show or playing video games or something.
I think
and then all of a sudden,
what you could learn to do as well is like couple things. So you could talk to me while you stretch.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like you don't have to give me 100% attention when you talk. You know what I mean?
What'd you say?
like you can like combine things, so it's not impossible. But yeah, it's definitely sometimes better to be alone because then you have. It's your own voice driving you more than necessarily, let's say, the influence of others sometimes can impact you in a negative way. Yeah, 100%.
Hey guys, quick break. Justin here from The Changeover. I'm going to talk about Pro Stringer. It's a great machine that I use, Jody uses, and a lot of other pros use as well. You can use it at home, on the road, really anywhere there's a tabletop surface. It takes me about 25-30 minutes to string a racket on this machine. It is easy to travel with, fits in carry-on, suitcase, tennis bag, no issues at TSA. It's a big money saver, and you can save even more when you use our code CHANGEOVER to get $100 off the machine. Back to the episode.
Speaking of impact, Novak Djokovic hired Andy Murray.
Yeah, crazy.
That is a legendary coaching player partnership.
I think that's so sick, bro.
I think it's sick because Murray is probably missing some sort of competitive edge in his life. But Djokovic, no secret, has struggled this year with motivation outside of the Olympics. So to have like new blood in terms of the coaching, but also someone that knows his game so well and probably a friend / rival on his side, I think is like a fun new experience for him.
Yeah.
You know, because I think he's had the advice from legends before, but now this is a legend who's his age, who he knows well, and they probably can have super open dialogue without any.
It's like if I were to watch one of your matches, but then also you trust that I know every single thing
100%.
about how you play and how they play, you know?
I was thinking that it's different in the sense that these guys were competitors, but like the TCU guys do it so well. Like when Nori left TCU, he was with Lugones, the other TCU guy. And then when Alistair Gray left, I think he's working with Juan. And then Juan ended up working with Rybook for a bit, and he's working with Fernley now. I think it's cool to have these partnerships where the guys are pairs in a sense, but they know each other so well that they trust each other to kind of help. So I hope it works. I hope Djokovic wins
Me too.
2 more slams next year and it's a success, you know? But yeah, to see two people I looked up to my whole life now be on the same side is weird, but it's cool, man. Like I'm excited to see how next year looks. I hope Djokovic is excited.
Bro, I feel like also like I've never met Djokovic. I have interacted with Murray before, but I never actually had a conversation. So I don't know them, but like it seems like they are both like very genuine people. Like you saw when like Delpo's thing? Have you seen that or no? Delpo had like a farewell match and Djokovic went to play it. And like on match point, he hit like a slow serve. Delpo hit a forehand winner and like everyone cheered and stuff. Delpo after the match like put his headband on the net. You know, like pretty cool moment. But like I just rate Djokovic a lot, like for those kind of things. Like you can see that he's always there, like showing respect to the other players and that sort of stuff, you know?
Yeah. You know, Roddick gave Djokovic shit about this?
About
Kinda?
what?
Apparently, he said something about he didn't think that it was the right timing for the announcement because it kind of overshadows Nadal's retirement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't feel that way at all. I feel
At
like Nadal
all.
had his moment. And I feel like Nadal's moment's been coming for the last 2 years. Like we've been seeing him like talk about the farewell and whatever. But I think this is good for tennis.
But the thing
too.
is, I don't know because like Djokovic, Roddick and stuff, they would have interacted with Djokovic more. You know, they would have been around him in the locker room and know his personality and stuff. We're professional tennis players, but we're kind of on the outside. We don't see and interact with them every week and that sort of stuff. But from the outside, bro, I don't get why Djokovic gets so much hate. Like, I really don't. Like, I understand
early on.
I understand early on when he's trying to be like, he was beefing the crowd and shit. Like, yeah, okay. But like,
and beefing other players.
Yeah.
Too.
But now it's like, he shows nothing but respect all the time. Like, even to people that he wasn't getting along with, like Kyrgios and stuff, and now they're boys, whatever. I don't know exactly how well the dynamic is, but you can see after the Wimbledon thing last year. And, like, it just seems like that's his character. Like, always be there for his colleagues, you know? Like, he was at Laver Cup when Fed was being done. And was he at Nadal's thing?
I don't think he was in Malaga.
He wasn't there?
No. But I think it's all respect. And I think I'm also selfishly not ready to say goodbye to the era of tennis yet. Like, I like that Novak is 40 and still unreal. And then you have Sinner and Alcaraz. And it's like, when he's at his best, he's still able to beat them. So I don't want to say goodbye yet. And I hope that this Murray thing can re-energize him for at least another year, that he can play at the
You think he'll
top
win Slam?
level.
Djokovic?
Another one. Yeah.
Wimbledon?
I don't know what, but he'll
That'll be what, that'll be 25?
Imagine Murray coaching him to win Wimbledon.
Woohoo! Oh, that'd be crazy, yeah.
That'd be
in London.
Sick.
Wow.
That'd be sick. Yeah. All right.
I had a question on a game. We have time? 10, 15?
It is running on 45, 48 minutes, something around there. So let's see what we have. You want to go to the game? We can run the game and then do some Instagram questions.
Instagram questions?
Game. Is game first or Instagram
game
questions?
is always last.
Oh, okay. Instagram questions. So we went live just now on Instagram before this episode started to try and get some topics for the conversation. The first one was fitness for adults. So if you were an adult, let's start with Evan. Let's see what you would advise an adult who's getting into tennis.
Who's getting into tennis?
Yeah, or plays tennis. What kind of fitness would you recommend for an adult tennis player?
40 plus? Is that what we're talking about as an adult?
Like just starting tennis.
Let's go 35 plus.
35, just starting tennis?
Or they play already.
Club level.
Yeah,
club level fitness?
Yeah.
Shoot, I don't know. Do a lot of legs. a lot of mobility. Some plyometrics. You know, like the skater jumps, squat jumps, lunge jumps. Maybe some on-court sprints.
I think I would.
This is a serious training program for
I think I would go opposite.
No, I agree with him. I'll do some jumps and stuff.
Yeah. I don't think I would.
What would you do?
I think for the 35 plus, I would try to do as little impact as possible. Like I would do like the general weight stuff. Like, okay, I'll do the eccentric, like slow down and fast up with the lunges, side lunges, whatever, all this stuff. But then I would get the cardio with the bike or like versa climb or something. I would try to not...
like save the knees.
Yeah, like longevity stuff, like mobility I agree with. But I don't think I would try to get
availability is the best ability.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about their like performance and like maximizing their friggin' broad jump and their whatever. Like I don't think that it's that important. I think I would just do general, like he said, like a lot of legs, core.
I guess what I was thinking, the jumps and stuff and that sort of stuff is important because like I was having some like hip problem, right? Some tightness, whatever. I feel like I don't lunge that well deep into the right, like a right side lunge or something. Or squat, I feel like I don't go that deep on the right side. I feel like what's changed is like me doing like band work and getting strong deep in that area. And now I feel like I can like go deep and explode and jump and that sort of stuff. So I feel like if you couple the strength training with the explosive training, then you're good to go.
But your solution just now was bands and
Yeah, but couple it with the jumps and that sort of stuff, like the power, because then you're gonna be strong in the area, but you're gonna be slow. So I think because I don't know how much...
they don't gotta be that fast. Like I just think as a person who wants to enjoy tennis, be healthy and be able.
First of all, if I'm 40 plus and I'm playing tennis, I'm not doing no damn fitness.
Yeah,
that's
what
I'm saying.
I just play tennis. Yeah.
I think general weights, but when you're doing them, have the focus on slow down so you absorb the power and then fast up. But other than that, for me, mobility and then get on a bike and stuff. But don't work too hard, man. It's okay.
Just playing tennis is usually.
Yeah, maybe just enjoy. Maybe you get your cardio and
enjoy yourself, man.
You get your cardio in an easier way. Swimming.
Gym is not fun.
I say swimming is pretty underrated actually for cardio.
Swimming is big.
But you don't always have access to a pool, so that's how that goes.
Visualize it, right, Evan?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Did you guys have like the first moment that you felt like, wow, I'm in the pros? Like, what was the first moment out of school? Where
welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
welcome to the league moment.
Exactly.
No.
This one played the US Open. He must have.
I guess just US Open, I guess.
He must have.
That's
hype.
Hey.
Hey, give me some.
Yeah, just right after my sophomore year of school in the summer, played US Open. Doubles with Martin Redlicki. Shout out Marty. Yeah, I don't know. Just seeing the top players in the locker room is kind of weird. They'd be naked and stuff out there.
Whoa.
Like cover up. I'm not trying to see, No, but yeah, I would probably just US Open. Yeah.
It changes for everybody. Everyone has a different like mine would have been a few months in getting my first ATP points. I qualified in one round, and then the next week I qualified in one round again. So it didn't feel like a fluke. It felt like I did it back-to-back weeks. Okay. So I kind of felt like the first one was a relief, and then the second one was like, okay, like I'm here, and I kind of feel that. But everyone has, like I said, a different moment. Mine is getting a point or 2 points. His is playing the US Open.
Or maybe a bit earlier, like a month earlier, played Newport 250 qualies. That was the first ATP for doubles. I mean, same thing, but it's just happened earlier.
Yeah.
What was hype was like playing challenges for the first time.
Yeah.
Like pulling up, having my hotel free and like food free, like, and then the courts were nice. I had all the lines people, and then the other umpire with the ATP thing on his thing.
You're a person at the challenges. You're a human being with feelings and a family.
People love and respect you, and
you know what I mean. Good morning.
They remember your name.
Oh my word!
Like
in Sioux Falls, the man told me on the second day, he's like, "Good morning, Jody. We have you on court 8 this morning." I'm like, "You know my name, right? You know who I am."
Yeah, bro. So I think playing challenges was probably cool. Last year when I played Lexington, I played in Peru, Ecuador, and I played Dominican Republic. 125 was nice. This was a nice tournament. And then you're there and like Verdasco's playing and you realize that tennis is a business. Like, not you didn't know before, but like they paid him to be there.
Yeah.
So like he's getting special treatment. He's there with his wife, his kids. They have somebody there watching his kids when they need. Like, you realize that this is an event and he's one of the stars. Even though he's 38 and he's losing first round this week, people came and bought tickets to see Verdasco.
Facts.
So like it's different for him than everybody else.
Facts, that's facts.
So that was kind of like, oh, this is an event.
Yeah.
You know? And there's like
an event,
the
not
car
just a
sponsor,
tournament.
like it's like, it's like that was pretty cool. And then another one I would say was Kyle Edmund was living in the Bahamas. I don't know if he still has a house there. But when he was like top 15 in the world, I got to train with him. And yeah, there's a few things that he did that were different than people that I was playing against. That I was like, oh, like it's a little different. Like I could rally with him and all this stuff. But when we started playing points, like his defense wasn't the defense that I was used to. Like he would defend in an aggressive way. And I felt like, oh, that's different. Like if I want to be as good as him, I have to be able to, in the corners, play that with that much quality. So I think that's another thing. But yeah, those are mine.
Very good. Very good.
Good question, actually. I thought it was a bad question at first, but it's a good question.
Can you apologize to...
I apologize.
There we go. Best way to climb the rankings? Win some matches.
Win matches. But
we kind of talked about it earlier, though.
But on a serious note, best way to win matches, to climb the rankings would be 1, be healthy as possible. 2, find a surface that you're good on and that you like that suits your game. And then do all the
spam it.
And then,
W key.
rinse and repeat. Like get good at doing a couple of things and do those things all the time really well and compete like a dog.
And also be really aware when you have to address something and fix something, or when it's it's okay, move on. Like,
blame others for your shortcomings.
Deflection. And the last one, the difference between college tennis and the pros. What do I think?
I feel like
Bro, it's changing. I will say it's changing. It depends on the position, the lineup, and the school. Because the top college
let's
players...
set the terms. What is college tennis? We're talking about the whole of D1, or we're talking about
we probably should talk about...
the top of the top.
We probably should talk about the whole of D1.
Because top of the top, if you're a top 5, top 10 college kind of guy, you're probably...
more, like top 20. The top 20 guys are good.
You're a top 500 in the world player, probably. Like, most likely, for sure. And if you're top 5, top 3, 4, 5, you probably have a chance to do really well at challenges. So you're probably you're a professional tennis player. You're good. But if we're talking about...
And you're getting paid more than the professional tennis players. Shout out to NIL.
And these days, in the NIL days, you're probably making money. So in that sense, it's probably better than going pro until a certain point. But if we're going to talk about college tennis as a whole, then everything is different.
I was going to say... I feel like it's harder to build momentum in pros in college, because college, I feel like
match,
and like it's not like you lose one, you don't play for like
it doesn't affect anything.
You have your schedule, you'll play some weaker teams, you'll get those wins, and then hopefully you'll perform well against the stronger teams. But
100%.
But in pros, if you're playing challengers, you're a main draw, you're gonna be playing someone top 300 every single week. They're obviously very good. If you're a bit off or not feeling that confident, you can lose 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
Everyone's spitting, bro. And that camaraderie aspect too. When let's say you on a 5-match losing streak, and in college, like personally, the team could be winning, or even if you're losing, you have people around you who are trying to help you, let's say, get back on to the winning ways. Whereas in the pro tour, it's pretty much you and figure it out,
bro. And also you're playing. You're playing like roughly half of the 50% of your season at your home courts with your home balls that you train at every day. Like you're playing in your stomping grounds. Like that's already a big advantage.
Hopefully you'll have fans there.
Like when have we ever played a pro tournament at Axis? You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot, and you know it's funny because I believe this question was more geared towards the style of play. So they were expecting us to answer with the pros hit the ball harder and miss less and more accurate, and they're better in these areas and they scream less and they whatever. But
atmosphere is definitely different.
It is different, but like those are not the, I guess, the priorities is what we would describe it. Because
like top of the line, you're getting pro players. You're playing futures challenger level matches at top of the lineup, 100%.
But
100%.
Good question nonetheless. Let's run a game. Why don't you let for the new subs know what's going on here, Yatin?
This is the QUIZLET section. We play first to 3 correct answers here. You just shout the answer out. There's no buzzer. There's no nothing. You just shout it out. If you get it wrong, the opponent gets a chance to rebut.
Good luck.
You each get a second chance at the correct answer. If it's wrong again, we move on to the next question. First to 3 correct answers. Boys, are you ready? Question number 1. Who is the only male world number 1 to have never won a Grand Slam?
Stefan won one?
Can I get an answer?
Only male world number 1 to not win a slam.
Team? Was Team 1?
And he won a slam, brother.
He did? Oh, what? Yeah. French? What did he win?
US Open, though. COVID.
Surely
was that, would he be Chilich or Nishikori or one of those guys?
Yeah, bro. What's going on?
I'm thinking of the I was thinking...
Your bundle is just trash.
No, I was thinking of...
Yo!
Was Chilich ever number 1?
No.
No? He
never won a slam.
He never
Cilic won a
one.
slam.
He did?
US Open.
I mean, how many?
He beat Nishikori.
This guy's got to be older generation, right? How many number ones?
I'm gonna give you guys a freaking clue. This is pissing me off.
So wait, can we just shout it out now if you give us a clue?
Yes.
you're right.
His name, his first name begins with an M, last name begins with an R.
Marcelo Rios.
Thank God. Wow.
Shit.
Wow. All right.
Well, I guess like 6 people just
Terrible.
know and they were all
Terrible.
wrong.
The man was saying names, bro. They all won slams.
It's crazy because the second that the game starts with these 2 lights here and those 2 cameras going, I just
Go blank.
instantly panic.
Get your journal. You might feel more comfortable with journaling on your
The
lap.
stress on my whoop must be high right now.
Who am I? I was born in Toronto, Canada. I was chubby as a child. I won my first pro title in Auckland in 2024. I now play for Chile.
Tabilo.
Yes, 1-1.
You didn't have to call the man chubby as a child, bro. Shout out to Tabilo, by
It
the way.
was.
No chance Tabilo's watching our podcast.
I thought that you would get it off that.
Oh.
No, I wasn't even.
Shout out to Tabilo, by the way. We
I
need
was
to get
about to say like
Tabilo on.
Raonic or something.
16 plus 17.
33.
This is some nice material. On
The way you look at me now.
Oh.
That's for you, Laro. Which region of Canada is Drummondville located in?
No.
Montreal? I don't know.
Incorrect.
I didn't play Drummondville.
I don't know. Quebec?
Well
I don't
done,
know.
man. Well done. Well done.
Score. What's the fucking score?
2-2.
2-2.
Wait, what's the one I
Where's
won?
the 3?
Oh, Tabilo. Oh, I'm gonna win this game? That's crazy. All right,
Throw
let's go.
another math.
How many Spanish men are in the top 40 in the world?
That's impossible to know.
Top 40 Spanish men?
That's impossible to know. 3?
No.
4?
No.
Can we get another one? That's a horrible question.
Oh my, top 40. That's too hard.
I can't even name them, bro.
2.
No.
5?
The answer is 1.
I was about to say 1! I knew it was gonna be
And
something.
his name is Carlos
Alcaraz.
Alcaraz.
Nadal's not in the. They took him out the rankings.
No, that was not top 20. He definitely was top
Muna
20.
dropped too? What was he at? Muna?
Okay. Final question.
Final question.
Bonus. How many American men are in the top 20 in the world?
5.
No.
Top 20.
Oh my god, now he can count.
Fritz. Shelton. Tommy. Francis. What do you say?
You're wrong.
Am I?
He didn't even say a number yet.
We said 5?
Mm-hmm.
4.
No.
Top 20?
Okay.
What's it?
Can I get a guess now without him blurting it out?
No, it's even. You both got it wrong.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah!
That's what I was asking permission for me to just take my time with it, but all good.
It is Taylor Fritz.
I will say that the questions
Tommy
on this,
Paul,
the questions
Francis
were,
Tiafoe.
this is poor questioning from you. Poor questioning from you.
What?
Shelton's not top 20?
You've had better games.
Brother, I asked you 4 tennis questions.
You've had better games.
How?
You know? I don't know.
This is how you blame the losses on other stuff.
Other people, yes. That's what it is. No accountability.
better
Okay,
games,
blame
bro.
me.
You had better
His confidence
games.
is gonna be so high after this episode.
If he won, he would have been, yeah.
All right. Yeah, everybody, thank you for watching. Sorry again, this episode's late. Look out for the next episode coming up soon. We're excited for it. Anything else you want to cover, gentlemen? No? All right, people. Thanks for watching.
Peace and love.